everything that's going on right now, it's kind of putting a little bit pressure on what people really want to do with their retirements. One thing I can tell you right now, and I would say I'm actually one of those people. I am making this video because I want to educate you a little bit about the 401k. I'm not really educating you a little bit of 401k. I'm just giving you some hints, giving you a little information of things that you really must think about, or things that you really must do and don't when it comes to your 401k, especially at this time when the markets are really hitting hard. It's just so much going on right now, and where people are really concerned about what's really going on. The other day I logged in my 401k and I lost about $700. I was like, what the hell is going on? But the next day I logged back in, I regained the whole amount. It's like, it's so much going on that you kind of get confused of, okay, now what do I do? But some people get so greedy that they end up risking the whole 401k and end up regretting. Things that you should always bear in mind are things that you should basically think ahead of time and know exactly what you really want, especially around this time. Very, very important. So one thing that I would like to tell you is, please speak to somebody. If you have the means to do it, speak to some financial advisors. They have free consultations. There's like a lot of people out here that can help you consult free. They can give you a little bit of information about your 401k and kind of advise you of a couple of steps that you might take. If it's something that you might consider, I would really advise you to speak to somebody. And also remember that the 401ks are designed for long-term savings. These are basically your investments, and they are not really meant for a day-to-day trading. Do not personally approach to do day-to-day trading on your 401ks because it's very, very risky to do that. These are your long-term investment. Do not mess with them. You have to know that this can get you in a very, very big financial deficit. And when the time reaches, or the time when you're about to go to your retirement, you might have a really big shortfalls in your savings. And basically, you must be careful of things like that. It's really not a good idea to keep reviewing your 401k account every day. That will never stop you from panicking. The panic, I know the desire or that eager to know how much you have in your account, to know how the markets are doing, it's very, very important to an individual or to a person or to a professional who is actually doing their for the people that are actually doing trade, that are doing this as part of their career. This is very important to them. But for a normal person like you in your 401k, really, you don't really have to keep logging in just to review the history or reviewing the contributions of how much you currently have, what is happening. And I'm not really talking about in the near future. I'm talking about currently now, when we are experiencing the coronavirus thing. It's not a good time to keep logging in and reviewing the account. It's not a good time. It will not it will not stop you from panicking. Otherwise, it's going to make it worse. It's going to make it worse. It's going to make your panic worse, and you're going to end up making wrong decisions. Every drop in your balance will make you panic, especially right now. That's one thing I can guarantee you, that please avoid reviewing your 401k account every day. Avoid making rash decisions. I know it's not a good time right now, and you might not trust whatever the financial advisors are saying, but you have to be aware that these people are trained professionals. These people can read the graphs. These people cannot really 100% predict the future, but they can see the curve. They can kind of guide you a little bit of what is going on right now and kind of give you a little glimpse of what you might expect in the future. So you have to listen to these people because these people are trained professionals. So one thing that you must do is avoid making rash decisions. And this is really based on making, for example, taking money out of your account right now before reaching 59. It's the biggest mistake ever. Do not approach to throw money out of your account right now before you get to 59. You will get a lot of texts. They will text you, I think it's like 10%, and you're gonna make no, you get a lot of tax on it, and then there is also a 10% penalty based on how much you throw. So you just have to pay attention to things like that. Do not make rash decisions and ended up with throwing your money before reaching age of 59, because you already know that it comes with lots of consequences. You get penalized 10% of the amount. Another point is if I mean, this is for people who got this is if you feel like, okay, this I could just do this, probably maybe do it as a last resort, but right now I would say please don't do anything, don't touch anything, live it the way it is. You can either invest more in bonds than in stocks. That's if, and I'm talking about, that's if you're ready to lose, because sometimes you're not going to make more money because obviously you're not going to make enough money on the bonds. Invest more in bonds because bonds carries less risk than stocks. Another point is please do not change your paycheck contribution. Continue the same contribution that you've been doing for the past couple of years. Usually it increases every year, but please do not change your paycheck contribution towards your 401k. Leave it the way it is right now. Leave your 401k contribution, leave that percentage the way. If you contributing 6%, leave it at 6%. Leave it the way it is. If you contributing 6%, leave it at 6%. However, the funds that you contributed could be used towards the future gains. You have ability to buy mutual funds at a discount. The same contributions can accumulate more shares than the previous month contributions. And you have to, that's why I'm saying, do not touch that, because once you change your contribution, that might affect the whole thing. Please keep it the way it is. If there is really anything that you should take advantage of right now, is increasing it. Let's move on to the next point. If you really need cash right now, you should find another means of making money. You have to find another means of making cash right now. There is so many ways of making cash right now. Take advantage of Uber Eats right now. Take advantage of deliveries. You know, those are the like little things that I can think of right now. Because you already know right now people don't like going out buying food and stuff. What people are doing right now is deliveries and stuff like that. Take advantage of that, because that's how you can make, basically that's how you can make money right now. Take care of yourself, because you know, when you're doing all these things, the deliveries and stuff, make sure that you practice social distancing. There's work at home programs. You can go to indeed.com and see if there's available jobs. I know it's not easy. Don't get me wrong. I know it's not easy, but just try. You know, you never know your luck. You might get the job. You might get like a the customer care, whatever, remote sales through the phone thing. I mean, try it. You know, or you never know. It's not easy, I know, especially right now. It might not make sense right now, but come on, try it and see, it might work. Okay. The last point is, for you are about to retire this year, that means the withdrawal will be affecting your expected 401k. And the best thing to do right now is, you know, stay at the job for probably a year or two. If you had plans already, yes, that might work in your favor. But if you really didn't have plans and you're trying to retire right now and get the money out of your 401k, it's definitely going to affect you. But if you had plans, of course, a lot of people have plans. People have assets that they put aside, um, apart from the 401k investments or apart from their retirement. Some people have like savings. If that's in your case, then well, it works for you. But some people who don't have savings, it's a little bit hard for them right now. But yeah, so if you were you were about to retire this year, I wouldn't. It's not a good time to retire right now. I don't think it's a good time to retire right now because I don't think it's a good time to retire or get your funds out of your 401k, especially right now, Corona season, because of what's going on right now. So I would advise you to stay a little bit, one more year or two. You know, the markets will pick up, everything will come to normal. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I'm gonna have another video that's very educational.